Hello friends, welcome to a brand new project where we are going to create a React project using the SpaceX API, and we are going to learn Apollo client through it. A bit of Apollo server also we are going to learn. So what we are going to do, so let me show you what we are going to do, what we are going to achieve. Okay, so this is what we are going to achieve, and we are also going to deploy it in Heroku. So this all is real data coming from SpaceX API. So in the home we are getting the launches. So this is the first launch of a SpaceX, and all this data are updated by the SpaceX team so that the public can utilize it. See, this is the last launch, so this is quite updated data. 13 December 2020, this is the last one. And we have done history also. So history will give the history of it, of SpaceX. Okay, so this is 2008 and this is the 2018, and this all APIs are publicly available, and the different rockets which it have, and you can go back. So we are using React router also here. You can see the launch detail also, and launch detail, when we see, we can see all the data here. Back is also there, history also, we can see the details, back, rockets detail. Okay, so we are going to use a bit of Apollo server also, but we are not going to store the data in some database or going to use some express also. So if you want to see the complete thing, means we are just going to use a SpaceX API. We are not going to build our own API here. Okay, so if you want to build our own API and the complete app, I have another video, two-part video series on my channel, full stack app using React and GraphQL, part 1 and part 2. There are only 2 part, 1.5 hours each, so you can go through it. It's a very good series in which we build the server also and the client also. And the server, we connect it to MongoDB database, and we create our own API routes. So here I'm not going to create my own API routes, but I am going to take the SpaceX API. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to now, let's get started with our journey. So again, we are going to build the server first. So here I'm in a folder. Here I will type mkdir. Oh, my caps lock is pressed. mkdir react Apollo SpaceX. Let me give it this name, cd react Apollo SpaceX. Now when we want to create anything, we start with the server. We always start with npm init and create our own package.json. So this is the thing which we are going to do again. Npm init, and we are going to do package name is okay, version is okay, description SpaceX Fan Site using Apollo client. Okay, entry point we want to change it to server.js. Author, I always like to give the author. License is okay, and here also, instead of pressing typing yes, I can press enter also, and my package.json will be created. Okay, so let's now install some of the packages which we will require here before opening it. Also npm I GraphQL, express GraphQL, express, and Axios. Okay, GraphQL, express and Axios. So I'm doing this. Okay, it will get it doesn't take much time to get installed. Okay, I want Nodeman also, but Nodeman I can install as a dev dependency because we don't need to ship it to Heroku. And we will see a new way to deploy everything in Heroku. So that will be a new way which we are going to see here. Okay, so this is done. This is also done. So let me open it with my VS Code. code dash. Okay, so what I'll do, I will open it here only. Let me make it a bit big so we can see it perfectly. Package.json, I'm there. Here description main is all okay. Test generally we don't need, so it's better to delete it actually. Start, so we're going to add to script start node server.js server node mon server.js. Okay, node mon server.js. Okay, so we have installed that node mon. So the next thing is that we will create our server.js. server.js. Okay, I think I have to increase the size a bit more so that it is visible on YouTube. Okay, const express equal to require express const. Yeah, this thing has changed, and this thing had given me a lot of problem earlier. Means earlier it used it was a normal export, not this is known as named export when you give this curly bracket. GraphQL http and equal to require express GraphQL. This one I require. Okay, and const schema equal to require. Now soon I'm going to create a schema file. Schema const app equal to express, and then we generally need to write very less code here in when we are going to do this, because we generally have only one route. We're not going to create more routes here. app.use, and that will be hash GraphQL. This route only we are going to hit, and it will use this GraphQL HTTP which we have just imported, and we have to pass an object here. In that object we will pass schema comma graph GraphQL. We are going to pass GraphQL equal to true, so that we can have a nice interface in GraphQL in which we can see our query. We are soon going to use this GraphQL also. So this is done, and then we have to define a port. Const port equal to process.env.port or 5000. Okay, and then app.listen your port and an arrow function clg console log. We should know the server got started. Server started at port port. Okay, let me save it. We have not yet started anything. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to create a schema.js file which we have just imported it here. So yeah, so let's get started. So schema means how will you get to know, means the first thing which you are going to do is the launches thing. Okay, so the launches thing, for that let me okay, 1 second. So we are going to use the SpaceX API. So this is the from where we are going to get everything. So here let me come to launches, and launches we are view more. Yeah, we are going to use this data by hitting the launches endpoint. Okay, so if we want to hit the launches endpoint and get data like that, schema.js is nothing but it will replicate the things which are here. Okay, so let us go back and create our schema.js file. Control P. Let me have the full const GraphQL object type, GraphQL object type, comma GraphQL int, comma GraphQL string, comma GraphQL Boolean equal to require GraphQL. So this we have. Then the first thing which we are going to have is the launch type. We are going to have more things also. So first we need to define the schema. So the launch type. Okay, so const launch type equal to new GraphQL object type. So this, because this is the object type, we are doing this. Name is launch, fields are, so this is an object. So the first key value here is the name and launch, and the second one is this fields, which is going to call a function. And now, as I have told, these things will come into action. Flight number, as you can see, it is an integer, so we have to take it as an integer. Type is GraphQL int, comma, the second thing which we are going to take is the mission name. As you might have guessed, it is a string. Type is GraphQL string. Okay, let me copy it 2 more times. Okay, because the next 2 things are also going to be string. This launch year and launch date local we are going to take. So launch year we are going to take, see, it is a string. Okay, launch year, launch date local, we are going to take the launch date. This we are going to convert it soon. Okay, launch date local, it is also a string. And then launch success is there. Where? Launch window. Okay, there are a lot of things. Yeah, you see this launch success is there, which is false. So this is also the thing which we require, which is, as you might have guessed, it's a Boolean thing. Type is GraphQL, and we imported all these things here, GraphQL Boolean. And now this is the way in which we have a relationship between two fields. So we are going to have a rocket field, and which will have a type of rocket type. So this we have not yet created, but see, we want to have another rocket type which contains all these things, because we have the API for that also. And so like this rocket type we will have. Now what we are going to do, now we will make that rocket type. Rocket type const rocket type equal to new GraphQL object type, same like that. Name will be rocket, comma, fields will be there, rocket ID, name and type. So all of them are string. Rocket ID, type is this GraphQL string, and rocket name I'm going to take not f, rocket name I'm going to take, and rocket type I'm going to take. So this is the rocket type I'm going to take. So let me save it. Okay, I have saved it. Now the next thing is what we are going to do. Let me make it small. So we are going to have a root query. For the root query we need a list, GraphQL list, and a schema, and we are going to use Axios also. Axios, I think we have installed it. If you have not, let me check once again. Yeah, Axios we have installed, so we can check from here. Okay, see, this was a dev dependency and this is the real dependency, so we have installed that. So let me do that. GraphQL list, comma, schema, root query is there, const root query equal to new object type, name will be root query type, comma. So here let me open one of them. Here again we are having the same type of thing, name, then the fields will be there, but it will be a bit different. It will be an object, and from object, well, let me open it anyway. Okay, one more thing I need to do is const Axios equal to require Axios Axios. So after that the fields I have come, launches. So launches, then it will be type will be new GraphQL list. So why it is a list? So list is something like an array, because at the end of the day launches will be something like an array of objects. See, if I come here, see, this is an array of objects, so it will be something like this. So GraphQL list I have to do, and then the launch type I am passing. So launch type is an object. See, it's an object. Okay, so it will be an array of object. It will be like this. So this root query I have done, and then after that resolve parent comma args I will give return axios dot get, and we have to hit an endpoint. And what will be that endpoint? Okay, so let us find it out. What will be the endpoint? Okay, I have to close it. Okay, launches is here. Yeah, this is the endpoint. v3 launches. So this endpoint I have given, and then with axios dot then what we are going to do, res dot data as always. Okay, so this is done for the launches part, and now we have to export it. So let us do it for the launches part only now, and because we have to check, we have not even started our server, so we have to check it whether it is running or not. So after this we'll export it, module dot exports equal to new GraphQL schema, new GraphQL schema. So all these things we have imported from GraphQL. Okay, GraphQL schema we have to export, and here query is root query, which we have just defined here. So we are exporting it, and it is in turn using this launches. Okay, so this is done. Now we have to start our server. Let me clear it and get some space. So we'll start it with nodemon, so that if we do any changes it will reflect. So nodemon server.js. Hope, yeah, everything is running fine. Okay, so but everything is running fine, but how we will see that we can get the data? So there is a very cool tool by GraphQL known as GraphQL. So let us use that. So let me open here only my Firefox developer edition. Okay, and let me go to localhost 5000 / GraphQL, and if I go here, yeah, it is working. Let me increase the font size, and now to see if you have that thing, I will do this, and then I can start typing. See, launches I am typing, it is there. Then flight number, it is there. And there is another cool thing, you have to press the control and space bar. Okay, and you can get everything. Mission name, launch year, launch this, launch success, and rocket is also there. And rocket we have to further go inside. So rocket ID, rocket name, rocket type, and if I give this, I will get the data from the GraphQL API. So I am getting the data perfectly. So it is working perfect, it means. Okay, so the next thing which we are going to do is launch status for a single rocket. Okay, so see, this is the launch status for everything, so we can do that also. So how do we do that? So again, let me go back and see, they're saying that we have to pass the flight number here, and if you pass the flight number, we will get for the individual one. So we will do this thing. Okay, so let me go back. The root query we have launches, so here I will have for the single launch. Okay, so here, yeah, because it should be inside the fields. So it's great that I have this colored brackets extension, so it gives me a nice color, means I know this is ending here, yellow to yellow, blue to blue. Okay, so which is this extension I am talking about? See, this one, bracket colorize, very good extension. I generally use intent rainbow, is also very good. So it gives this nice things like this thing. So I like it. I don't use prettifier that much, so that's why I use this intent thing. Means launch type again will be, okay, type will be launch type. Why launch type? Because it will be an object, so type will be launch type. We will get a single object back from it. Okay, so this gives us a single object back. They have not given it, but it gives a single object back from here if you give something like this. Okay, so launch type is there. Then we need to give arguments also to here. As flight number, we have to give that as argument. So args will give, and we have to give the flight number, which is a number type, flight number, which is of type is GraphQL int, and then comma, again we'll have this resolve thing like this. Parent args and everything is same except the launches. After this launches, if you can see, we have a slash after this launches, and it's better to use string interpolation, so I'm not going to use this. What I'm going to use is the backtick. Okay, backtick I'm going to use, and slash dollar args dot flight number, args dot flight number I am passing. Again, let me have it in one line only. Args dot flight number I am passing, this flight number which is a type int, and rest is data. So this will be same. Okay, so this is done. And then if everything is okay, means yeah, everything is okay, so I can see it here. It got restarted due to the changes in server. That's why nodemon is so important. In server, what happens, you have to again stop the server and restart it. So that's why we use a package called nodemon to that. So let me go here, and now I want a single launch. Okay, to see the single launch, there is one thing which is very important here. I have to refresh it. Okay, I have to refresh it. Okay, it is giving something like syntax error, but I have to refresh it, then only I will get it. Okay, and unch launch is there. Then flight number is maybe 3. What it is giving? Flight number. Okay, now it is okay. I don't know. Mission name, I don't know why it is coming like this. Launch year, launch success, rocket name, rocket type, and let me now do it. Yeah, it is working fine, perfect, it is working. So the next thing is that we'll also add the code for rockets and rockets type. So they're also here, where it is, yeah, here it is. So we'll also add the code for this two also we are going to add. Yeah, so did we created it? Okay, this is there, but if I come here, view more, I have some more things are there. Okay, I have the Wikipedia and description also. Actually, I need this two also, Wikipedia and description, because it is nice to show those things also there. So let me show those things also there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to update the rocket type here and add the Wikipedia and the description. So comma, actually they're also strings, so that's why I copied it. GraphQL string Wikipedia and description, Wikipedia and descriptions I've taken, and then let me go back, and here I will have to add for the rocket and a single rocket again. So let's do one thing. It will be exactly similar. Launches will be similar to rockets, and launch will be similar to rocket singular. So it's better to, I know I can make a mistake here, but it's better to copy it. Okay, so yeah, so this is ROCKET is rockets, and GraphQL type it is, yeah, so this launch type become this rocket type. So this, let me have this correct rocket type. So everything else is right, means only this will become rockets, it will become rockets. And again, so it is GraphQL list, and this type launch. Okay, I was doing the classic mistake. It is ROCKET, rocket is there, type is rocket type, and this is not flight number, this is ID, this is ID, and ID will be GraphQL int only, and here it will be rockets. Yeah, have I did everything right? Yeah, it is right. args.id will be there. Okay, args.id will be there. Let me save it. Let me go back here, let me refresh it, let me remove it, and I have rockets and rocket now. Rocket ID, rocket name, rocket type, Wikipedia, description. Let me run it, and I'm getting everything. Okay, so this is done. So let us check this also, this rocket also. One sec, rocket, I have to give the rocket ID. Okay, we will check it later on, because there is a lot of things needed to be done. We'll check it later on. Let us go ahead, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to install now React. We will come to the React part now. So because our backend is almost done, let's come to the React part now. Okay, so clear. So I'm going to install the folder known as client, which will have the React thing here only. So I will do npx create React app and client. So I am inside this folder only, and the client will be created here only. So it will take some time, so let me pause the video. So react.install, am I live? Yeah, it is working. So react.installed, and I got that happy again thing which we always get. But before even starting React, we will install another package known as concurrently. What is great about this package, generally when we code on the backend and the front end, what we need to do, we need to run two commands, one for the server, one for the client. But this concurrently package allow us to use it through one command only, npm I con RRENTLY. Did I spell it right? Concurrently. Yeah, I think I spelled it right. Okay, so let it get started, and we will go to package.json. Still we are in the server package.json only, and have two more commands. One is the client. We can start a client, and this is very important command, the dev. So concurrently, what we will do concurrently, then we have to escape it, npm run server, we are running the server, and then npm run client. So with concurrently we can run both of them. Okay, so this I have done. Hope it is done. Yeah, it is done. And if I run npm run dev now, see closely, first it is started the server. Okay, 5000 server is started, then it is starting React will start at 3000 port. Okay, and if 3000 is occupied, it will give you a message. So React is getting started. Yeah, and we are getting the famous React logo. Okay, so I don't want to start it here, I want to start it local host 3000 loc. Okay, this is right. Okay, let me work like this only, means it is better to show both of them like this. I will go back between the code where it is my code. Okay, so like this, npm run dev is working fine. But now we, as with React, a lot of boilerplate comes, so let us remove those boilerplate code. So this is my React code here, and this is where I have my server code. Okay, now on seeing this, I want to do one thing quickly. But see, this node modules, I am afraid of this node module a lot, because when we are going to push it to the backend, push it to some git repository, it will push this also. So new file, the best way is to do git ign or ignore, git ignore, and here I will write node modules, because when I deploy to Heroku, it will take all of my quota. I don't want that to be done. Okay, node modules is done, and see, this client is done by React, by create React. It already have git ignore, so I don't want to do anything. But here I have to go to the source. Okay, and first I have to remove all this boilerplate, or way too much boilerplate here in React nowadays. This app.test. Okay, let me remove all this thing, delete it, move it to recycle bin. Oh, again I did the same blunder. So you saw what I did, I removed the src only. Okay, so how to get it back? So actually I did it sometime back also, alt. Hello friends, so I have restored the src directory from our recycle bin. So let's do it again. So what I am going to do for from here, I am going to remove this logo.svg, this and this. Let me remove them, move to recycle bin, app test also I don't want. Let me remove this also. App.css also we are not going to use this style, so it's better to remove them. Then in index it will throw me error because I don't have this right now, so let me do it like that. And then in app I don't have most of the things right now, so in app let me remove this. Let me remove the logo, and here let me put h1 SpaceX Fan Club. Okay, and it will work. It will give some error. SpaceX Fan Club, yeah, it is working. So let me go back, and now what I'm going to do, we are going to use a Bootstrap theme. There is a very good site which give you the whole Bootstrap theme. So let me use it. So that is known as Bootswatch, and I'm going to use this one, this cyber. So there are 2-3 ways to use it. Means one is to download it, or one is to use the link which you are seeing at the bottom. So this Bootstrap main link, you can directly use that. So I will directly use that instead of copying it from here. It's very difficult. So, or let me open it in a new tab. Yeah, so yeah, okay, it is very easy to use from here also. So I open it in a new tab, and I'm just copying this thing. Okay, so let me go back to my React. And in React, if you want to use anything related to Bootstrap or anything else, you have to do it in index.html in the head part, because this is the file which actually gets rendered in React. So let me go here. Let me remove something. It is looking very ugly. If you have come here, then let me remove this thing. And after this I will put link CSS. Yeah, link CSS I will put a style sheet, but with this style sheet I will give our link Bootswatch. Okay, remove this also. And instead of React type, I have the title. If I am here, so I will change that also, SpaceX Fan Club. Okay, so that is also done. Now if I go back to my app, what I will see, not this, see the black theme is there, so it is working fine. It means, but I didn't give anything as black, but it have become black. Okay, so the next thing is that I want a logo. Okay, so where to get the logo? So I already have a logo in my earlier project, so I have to take that. Let's take that logo from there to where it is. This logo. Okay, so I'm copying it, and here also I don't want this anymore. I will put it inside the src. So I'm inside the app, reveal in file explorer. Okay, and here I will paste the logo. Okay, so now we have to use it. So how to use it? So we have to import it first. Import logo from logo.png. Then instead of this h1 I will use the image. img src equal to logo. Let's give some alt tag also, so it is good for screen reader. Fan club style equal to width is 300, display is block, margin is auto, and it is giving error because I have not closed it yet. Okay, so I'm using st, I should have spelled it right. Okay, then only this inline styling will work. So I think it is right. Yeah, the logo is right. So now it's time to install the Apollo client. So let's me install it. So our app is running here, so it's okay. Means I always install something external dependency from the integrated terminal, because the app our running combined app is running through concurrent. So I will do this, but the thing is that we have to install in the client folder. That is very important. Client folder we have to come. Okay, and then npmi at Apollo / client, and GraphQL also you need gra GraphQL. These two things we are going to install. Okay, so let it get installed. What I am going to do, I'm going to get some piece of code. And I will explain it. Okay, so it is done. Let me control B, control J to remove it. Okay, so now we have to first wrap our whole app with Apollo client, Apollo provider. Actually, so Apollo, for that what we do. Okay, so this is not the case. Our app is running on localhost 5000, so this is later on when we're going to deploy. So Apollo client in memory cache from Apollo client, we are taking an Apollo provider also from Apollo client. So nowadays everything comes from Apollo client. A lot of things have changed in Apollo client since the past 1 year. They have moved towards hooks a lot. Okay, so this is a newer format, latest format. Nowadays that higher order component format doesn't work, and I have checked. So client, so that means it's your component have to be functional, because hooks are only works in functional. So it's better works with hooks nowadays, the client. Okay, so then Apollo provided, that is one thing which I need to change here. I need to not have only GraphQL. I have to put the thing completely HTTP localhost 5000. It is not HTTPS, because localhost is always HTTP localhost 5000, and GraphQL, this is right. Now I have to wrap all of my app with Apollo provider. Okay, so how to do that? Apollo provider client equal to client, and it is done. Okay, now in the component I will create in SRC we will create our first component known as launches. So in SRC I am creating a components folder. Okay, in that let me have a component launches.js, and let it be a functional component. And after that, here I have to first import the use query and GQL from Apollo client. Import use query. So this is an inbuilt hook, and very good hook from Apollo client. GQL from at Apollo client, and then we have to use our query. Okay, so const so I have to name it. So this is the way, and then I will write. So this is the query which we had earlier done in the GraphQL. Okay, GQL like this, and then like this, and then I can start my query launches flight number mission name launch date local and launch success. So this way I have to use the GQL query. Okay, after that the way to use it is I have to come here and I have to do object.js structuring. Const loading error data use query launches query. So this launches query we have to use it here. Okay, and then we have to do two things which is very important. Loading because if you don't give this statement means then it will go ahead. React renders very quickly actually, so these statements are very important to do. Give after that return, so you cannot omit them. P loading and the second one you might have guessed it is for error, and definitely if you have some error it really throws the error. Okay, and then you do CLG data. Let us see the data, what data is coming, and then h1 test. Let me save it. Now I have saved it. Now we have to add it. Okay, so we will go back here, and after the images I'll have the launches. So I have pressed the enter, so the auto import is done. This is very important, or else it will not, it will give error. Anyways, it is important, you will know. So let me go back, not here, here, and it is giving me error. Okay, it is giving me error right away. Let me inspect element, what error. Okay, the famous course error it is giving. So I have to fix the course error first before coming back here. How to fix the course error first? Okay, so fix the course errors, we have to install course, and course installation, what I will do, I will actually close this and install course, because course need a complete restart. Okay, so I will delete this thing, and this is in the main directory. So npmi course I will do, and it will install the course package. And then let me go back and to my server.js. Okay, server.js, and here after this const costs equal to require costs, and here after the express, these orders are very important in Node.js. App dot use costs. Okay, these two I have done. Now I'll go back here and npm run dev. See, as you might know, npm run dev runs both of our server and the client, so through concurrently. It's a very good way to do that. Okay, so it is done. Let me open it here and let me delete it, refresh it, loading, test is came, and see this object. I have got the launches object, and which have all 111 launches which SpaceX has done. So this is from the real data, and this is also updated because this is through SpaceX. So this is updated data. I don't know whether it is through real SpaceX or not, but data is very much updated. All the new launches also you will get here. Okay, so this is done. Then we need to show this data. So to show this data, it's better to show create another component and then show it. Okay, so we'll go back to launches, and we will create an item, create a new component known as launch item first. Let me create that component first, and the component launch item.js, and again all of our component will be functional component because Apollo client doesn't work without hooks nowadays, and it works, but it's very difficult to make it work. The earlier code will be there. So I am in launches. Here let me remove this and make it a fragment, and h1 I will have not a test h1, it will be launches, and I will use some Bootstrap classes now. Okay, so don't ask me what is that class name. Equal to display for my 3. Okay, and then after that we will loop through our data which we have received. So data dot launches, there was an array look of launches, map launch, and here we will call the launch item. So if I press enter, make sure it is imported here. Let me close it first so that we don't get an error. So we need a key also, or else React gives us a big fat warning. So launch dot flight number and launch is launch. Okay, we can move this up so that it looks good. Okay, so this is done, and now I will go back to my launch item. Okay, and there are a lot of stuff here, so it's better to it's just static thing, so it's better to copy it. Okay, I will explain it. Okay, so right now link I am not using. Okay, let me remove this link part now and have have a button right now because we have not yet done it. So let it be button. Okay, so rest of the things are not that much difficult to understand. Means let me explain it. So I have imported something known as class name. Okay, class name and moment. So class name moment, this I have to install it. Okay, so let me do one thing. Open the client and install all these things, and then we will look into them. Clear npmi class names. I have to do everything in client folder, which is very important. Moment, moment, and we also want something known as react moment. Hoping I am spelling it right. So this three thing we need in the client folder. So let it get installed. Okay, it got installed. So we are importing them first, and then the launch item which we are getting, launch item we are destructuring here itself. And one thing to notice is that we are further destructuring it. Launch to flight number and all this thing, we are further destructuring it, and then we are going to use it. Okay, so we are going to use it first. Again bootstrap thing. And the thing is that this class name we are doing, because if the launch is a success, launch success is a Boolean thing. Okay, so if launch success is there, then we are showing the text success, which is a bootstrap class which shows a red color, and text danger is a bootstrap class which this shows the green, this shows a red, and the mission name we will show it's a success. And date, we are we are using moment because we get a string from React, so we are showing it in a nicer way. Okay, and this link thing we will fix up later on. So let me save it. And if I go back, the moment of truth, yeah, it has been shown perfectly. Okay, there is one thing, I think one thing more which I can fix now itself. It is taking the whole thing. There's a bootstrap thing, as far as I know. See, app instead of apps, everybody knows everything is container in bootstrap. Although I don't use that much bootstrap, but also I know that much bootstrap that I know that everything is container. Container class will always be there. If I put it in a container, see, it's nice padding and all those things. Our whole app is done if you do this container thing. Okay, so everything is done. Date is also showing right. See, whatever is a failure is shown as red. For that we have used that class name thing. So it is starting from 2006 when SpaceX started. Let me go down and see, this is the last one, December 13, which is again a failure. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so after that I want to show something in the in our launches also. Launches, I want to show that if how do the user know that it's a success or a failure. So we want to show something there also. And again, let me not write that much code. So this h1 is there. After this, again, this is bootstrap thing, nothing much to explain. So equal to success, and we are making a box actually. So if you go up, see this thing, I am just creating this thing. Okay, so this is done. And then after that, now we have to install the React router. So React router we have to install because I want to click on this launch detail and it should take me to a different page. So for that I have to install React router. So again I will come here Let me come here and Control J, clear, and PMI react router DOM, and PMI react router DOM, and it is right, I think. Yeah, it is right. Okay, so it is done. I was in the client folder, it was right, so Control J I have to do, and then we have to include the React router in our app.js, just like the Apollo thing. So anything if you want in the central part, we generally import it in here. Okay, so here I will come and let us create one more folder on one more file known as launch launch.js. That is VRFCE. Let me save it. Let me go back here, Control D, and here everything I have to wrap with the router. So should I yeah, let me import it first. Import browser router as router comma route and from react router DOM, yeah, react router DOM, and then after that here router is there. Okay, and then we'll have the routes. So we'll have two routes, and this launches will also not be contained like this, but it will contain inside a route. So the route you have to use like this. Exact path is a very good thing to because sometimes or else it creates problem in React router. Exact will do this component equal to launches, and the path will be launch flight number, and component will be launch actually. Okay, the component will be launch. Let me import that. See that this is also imported launch, and let me save it now. So this means any number, anything is there which is means a number, anything, any number, it will work. Okay, so now launch I have created, and let me write component, let me save it. Okay, so now back to launch item we have to go, and we have to import link, import link from react router DOM, and now we have to use the link, this link instead of the button. So link, and here we have to do a to equal to this string and launch. So this launch is this launch, and then we have to pass the flight number. So how to pass the flight number? $, and we have the flight number here. We will pass that here, flight number, and it is done. Okay, So if I come here and if I press on anything, it will show me that launch component, which I have just means we have to create that launch component now. So for the launch component, okay, so again the launch component will have a lot of query. So let me make it, and I will tell you, because there I can do some mistake also. So actually I will take it from, not from here, but from, see, everything is from my series only, so I will take it from here. It's much better. Launch, see, so those things I will. So this launch query is a bit different, so let me explain it. So this launch query contain this flight number. So this we have seen earlier also, because we have to pass the int here, means that flight number we have to pass. So we take it like this query, then launch in flight number is the flight number will give. Then we will, because this we will return back an individual thing, the flight number, mission name here, all these things we need, and a rocket also. So this we have seen earlier. So after that we will get the flight number from props.match.params. So what is this props.match.params? Props.match.params is nothing but when we will click on it, because the launch item we are giving the flight number, see, this one is coming. So if I go back and I show you, this 2 is there. So this is actually the flight number. Okay, so this is the flight number. So we are taking that from props.match.params.flight number. Again destructuring. So parse int, because this actually comes as a string, and we see we are passing an integer here, so we don't want it as a string. Then this thing again, which I have earlier told, but this is different from here. Why it is different? Because we are not passing any params here, but here we are passing the params known as flight number. So we have to use this format variables, flight number, and then this data we will get. So let me save it, and if everything is right in my console object, see, I got everything here, even the rocket which was used for this mission. So everything I have got it here. Okay, so now it's time to have this here. Okay, and for that it's again a lot of bootstrap code, nothing more there, but yeah. So let me copy it again, or else it will waste a lot of time. Okay, so first again, so data.launch I am taking, because data.launch is there, then I am destructuring it. So I am destructuring it. Let me take it in the same line, so it is good to see. So equal to data.launch, I am destructuring it, and rocket also further I am destructuring it like this, so that I can directly use it. Then within some bootstrap class I am using the mission name. Okay, so it is like this, this is text start and mission name. Launch details is there, flight number, data dot launch dot flight. Okay, there was some error because I cannot have the same name, so that's why I have to do it like this. Launch year, and again we are using the class thing. If the launch is a success, which is a boolean, then launch success is yes no. We are showing rocket id, rocket name, and rocket type, and there is a backlink also, and everything should work because we already have imported this class names and links. So let me save it. And it is showing perfectly launch detail, rocket detail, so whatever we were getting back. And now let me go back to the latest one. So latest one, see, it generally takes some time, so this loading comes, flight number, launch, and all these things are there. So this is the last latest one, and it was not a success. It's okay, so that is there. Now the thing what we are going to do is to create a Navbar. So Navbar, because we are going to show rockets also, not only launches. We are going to show rockets also, and for that Navbar is required, so that we can click on that and we can see the rockets. So let us create that launch bar. Okay, so Navbar. So back to app.js, and we are having a Navbar component. Navbar.js. Navbar like this here, and in the home also I will show the launches. Let me show the launches here also, and LUNCHES launches here also. Now we will create the Navbar, and me save it, Navbar, and again it's a complete Bootstrap thing, so I'm not going to do much here. And okay, yeah, instead of showing the launches again, we can show the histories actually. Component is I will change it later on to a new component known as histories. We will show why to show the same thing, and I will show this to a new thing, histories, later on. Or why not make it right now, TORY, but there is no history component here. History.js RAFCE. I have to do at least a boilerplate code, or it doesn't works perfectly actually. So if I have already done it, then control spacebar I have to do. It is not coming, so I have to manually do it. Import history from history, save it, Control B, and this is nothing much to import. We are importing the logo now here, so we don't want the logo anymore here. Actually, no logo. Wait a sec. Yeah, we don't want a logo here anymore. So let me save it, because we are having the logo here, logo and brand. So we are showing some Bootstrap classes. With that we are showing the logo, and then again some Bootstrap classes, and the three links which we are creating. One is the home, one is the history, one is the rocket. So these three links we are creating as this, and then let me save it. So this is how we create the Navbar. We'll have this links tags are actually like anchor tags only in React router. So if I go back, I can see my grid thing. So right now nothing is there created, means rockets is also not there, nothing is there. So we have to create those things. Okay, so for that we want a rockets component also. So let's create that first. Rockets.js, RAFCE, rockets, and then ROCKETS, 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 import it. Yeah, imported it. So rockets is there. So our rocket component will again be almost similar to our launches component which we have created earlier. Okay, so launches rockets, then we'll have a rocket also, as you might have then rocket item, and so everything will be exactly the same as earlier. So it's better to actually to copy it, means not to waste much time, and to copy these rockets also. So let me go back here, and this is my rockets. So as I have told you, there is a something known as rocket item is there. So again the same thing is there. Let me go through it. React use query GQL is there, Apollo client, rocket item, which we are soon going to get. Then a rocket query is there. See, one thing I want to tell this. See, in launches I have used it like this, but you can give two names. Query also you can give a name. Actually it doesn't use this, it uses this thing. Okay, so then I'm getting all these thing rockets. So this we have seen earlier, that how to get all these things. Then rocket query is there, loading and error is there, data is there, and then data.rockets.map, I am doing the map like this. Map I am doing and passing it to the rocket item component. So let me do the rocket item .js, and rocket item .js, it will again the rocket item.js will not contain many things. So let me have it also, and it will be much easier component. So what it will have, just a link. Let me take it on the top. We are again destructuring it. Okay, we are again destructuring it. Rocket to rocket ID and rocket name, and then card body bootstrap classes, then the rocket name, and a link to rocket details, which we have not yet created, but we will create. Let it be there, because we have not yet created that launch. Like launch, there will be a rocket. Okay, so that we have not yet created, but let it be there because we're soon going to have it. So let me save it, and let me save this. So if I go to rockets, I should see all these things. Yeah, I'm seeing this rocket detail right now. Let me not even click on it. Okay, so this is done. All those the rocket, we are just showing the rockets which is SpaceX have, so we are only showing that. Okay, so after that, what we need to do, we need to do the rocket singular rocket. We need to do like the launch. So for this rocket, we need to first have this here in our app.js. So let us do that, and it will be like this only, but route exact path equal to rockets slash rocket id component will be rocket. So I have to create a component rocket.js, again similar to launch.js. Okay, and then we have to use it. Okay, so to save the time, I will add the complete thing in it. Okay, let me save it. I have not imported it yet, so rocket, let me import it. So let me explain. It is again means completely similar to our launch. So we will be getting like this flight number. Here also we'll get the rocket id, which is a string, and then rocket id, name, type, Wikipedia description is there, and params just like that is there. Variables is rocket id, and then like this we are getting everything. Rocket name, rocket type, Wikipedia link, and our description. So this all things we have. So if we now click, because in rocket item we already have this link, so if you not click, we should get it. So let me go back here and click on it, and I am not getting it. What is the reason? Okay, this is string, and this is int. This is string, this is int. Launch, it was int. So let me do one thing. Int, let it be int. Now will I get? Actually, I think it is if I go to the SpaceX API, and we are doing this rockets, and it have to be a string. Actually, rocket id have to be a string. So how to fix it? So let me go back, Control C here, and it will be string. But in schema, what I have to do, I have to make it not a int. There is something known as GraphQL string. So this was a mistake on my part, I think. So this thing I have to change. Okay, so I have done that. Schema, something else is, schema, one more thing is wrong. This is not id, this is, we are getting rocket, we are passing the rocket id. So this all things need to be, see here we are passing the flight number, but how can we pass the id here? So it is rocket id here. Let me save it. And now let me go back, we refresh it, and again it is not showing. Let me go to inspect, and here, okay, it is not even taking the, oh, we have changed the schema. Change the schema is a very important thing. If you change the schema, then you have to restart the server, which is very important because we have changed the schema actually. Okay, you can, okay, rocket.js, we are returning it back. Yeah, we are getting it back, the rockets thing, rocket.js. So let me do it here only, means live only. Rocket.js line 22, rocket.js line 20. Where is line 20? It is line 24. Whatever. Wikipedia link and all are there, but then it should show it data.rocket, rocket name, and all those things are there. Okay, Falcon 1, I am getting this Falcon 1 here. Okay, rocket id is props.match.params, and Falcon 1. Let me do one thing. I think we are hitting the 5000. Why it is not API? Okay, we have to hit it anyways like this. If I give the Falcon 1 here, then what will happen? Will I get for Falcon 1? Yeah, I will get for Falcon 1. So there is no error here. So what is the error? So let me go back to the drawing board again. Means this is the rocket name. Okay, rockets detail, and again it is not even coming back here. Means I'm not getting any showing or anything like this. Okay, rockets in app, it is, oh, I got a mistake. You see what the mistake is? There should be this here, and everything is right. Rockets, I will come clear it, rockets detail. But why I am not now? I am not going here. Exact path is now right. Rockets and rockets ID. Let me check it again. Rockets. App is rockets. Rocket ID. Rocket is there. Yeah, rocket is there. And then here rockets, rocket ID. Okay, react router DOM. Okay, everything is there. Okay, maybe I have to do this and then npm run dev. It is also not showing. I have done a lot of debugging. Let me debug after pausing the video. Okay, so I found out the mistakes. See, there were a lot. Actually, this is not ID. We are passing this rocket ID here. So this should be rocket ID, and app. This is not router. This is out, as you might have seen it. So this is like this, and then I will do npm run dev again because I have changed the schema. So I have to run. If you change the schema, then you have to run the npm run dev. Okay, so let it be there, and let me refresh it. Okay, so now if I go to rocket details, it is load. It takes some time. I don't know, it is a bit slow. So you can read more about this in Wikipedia. So you can read more about this in Wikipedia here. Falcon 1 rocket, Starship also I can see. Starship on Wikipedia. Yeah, back. So this is done. Our rocket is done. So now we are going to use the, as I told earlier, we are going to use the history also. So exactly the same thing we need to do, but for that history, we have the history in our server, because we have to add it in our schema also again. So history, we have to add it in a schema after rocket type, and install it in a root query also, because we didn't thought that we will do for history, but we are doing for history. So let's then do it for history also here. Okay, so where is my schema? Yeah, here is my schema. So this history, I will take the history, and after this rocket I will have this history. So history have a new type known as links. This is links type, which have a Reddit article and Wikipedia, which are again the GraphQL string. So because we have links in the history, so see, there are links here. I have come to the history. I have some links here. So if I come here, I'll get the links, and which have something like this. Again, the links. So for that, I have to do this link schema. Links type is also there. Type is links type. Did I imported it? No. It will not need an import, because I am creating it here, links type, which is a new GraphQL object type. So see, links type is nothing, it's not a new thing, just like here where I am. I think here also somewhere we have, see, in this rocket type was there, and we have created a new object type like for this launch. So like this, we have to create this links type for here, and then after that I will have to do for the histories also. Histories. Where is that? And there it is, histories. Okay. Histories. If you do through GraphQL, as you might be seeing, the code is way too much than what we used to have in a normal, even a Munch stack. So there is a lot of code involved here, but the main benefit is that the system is faster because we're using GraphQL. So this is the future. So histories, yeah, histories is the new GraphQL list type is history. This is a GraphQL list type, just as rockets are also GraphQL list, because it comes as an array. And then we have to go to history, and here the ID, we are passing the ID only. Let me see if history, one historical event, we are passing the ID as integer and all. Yeah, we're passing just the ID as an integer, so I have to save it. And the thing is that if I make something here, change something here, I have to restart my schema. Needs a restart of the server. Most of the time it will not need a restart of the server, and our server and the client are running from the same code, so a restart will be required. Okay. I don't know, and Chrome it is taking more time. Yeah, it is working. It takes some time for the loading spinner also to be shown. Okay, so this is done. Now it is time to make another ID. Title is graph. Okay, so again we have to do the same song and dance again. The histories, we'll create a histories, then a history item, then a history. Same thing we are going to do again. So for that, and histories will be the easier one. Histories.js, and if I don't do RFC, it will not allow me to have this. Okay, so these things, let us keep it at the end. So histories, I have already I have already done it. Okay, history also I require, but not here. I will require it later on, so let me keep it. So but let me, because that singular thing also I need, let me keep it there because I'm going to soon use it like this for a single one. Okay, so but this is histories. Let me save it. Okay, now again for the history, let me get the data again, and histories, contemporary histories, history query, history item. So history item is there. History item.js. So again the same thing which we are doing here is use query the history ID, title and event, then use query. See, this is a simple query also, and then we are mapping through it, and the history item we are passing. So now what is the history item? History item, let me take that history item also. History item, did I created that history item? Yeah, I have created a history item. Let me save it. The link will not work right now because we don't have the history component, but everything is like this means, and then the histories is there. So if I go back, it should work if I have done everything right. And again I did some mistakes, so that's why it is not working actually. Histories. Okay. Histories. I think this is not right. Sometimes you have to restart everything. I'm not even reaching to this page. So because if I would have reached to this page, histories, let me do, no, at least the loading should have come. Again, I did some mistake. Not there, but here. Exact part histories, then histories. I'm not using this anymore. So let me check it out. Okay, it is working fine, no issue. Actually, I have to restart my server. I think that concurrently is not working perfectly, so I have to restart it. Nothing changes are there, and see, I am able to see everything now. We have to, even I have checked the GraphQL queries, it is working fine. So you can check it from here also. So I have checked it is working fine. So now the detail button we need to make, because the detail button, see, we are just getting it, and the detail button we will show in a history and the details. So this is the thing which we need to make now. So let's go ahead and make it. Again, we'll have a history component. So let me come here and let me do one thing. This time I will copy it. So it will be known as history, just like this history, and it will not be rocket ID, it will be ID, and it will be history. So history, yeah. So I have, oh no, not history item, history only. So the import was wrong. History. So now it is right. History is there. Like this ID, it will come history, and Control E, history. History is there. Right now nothing is there in it. So the link is right. So let me have the history now again, and this time I don't know whether we'll get some error or not. Again, a lot of things, generally this thing have a lot of things. Why? Because first we have to give an id which is an int. So we are taking that id, and we want all these links and all these things. Okay, so after that, use query variables id, which is a number. Hope this time it is not wrong. So it is a number, and params we are taking. Again, taking the params, but as I have told earlier, the params comes as a string, so we have to parse it and make it as an integer, because we are using integer again here, and then again we're destructuring it. And then the event details, again some bootstrap thing in the HTML, and Reddit. And I am using a ternary operator because some of the thing I have found out that the Reddit link, article link, and Wikipedia link is not there. So if it is there, then only we'll show this thing. Okay, and then this is a back to the histories. So if we are lucky enough, if the back will work perfectly, so I will give the GitHub link also for this in this video. You can take the code from there. So if I go back and refresh it, and I have not restarted the server, might be I need to restart it if I don't see the loading thing in the next page. Loading in the next page means it is working fine, and read article is there. Wikipedia they have given back. So this is all data is coming from their database. Okay, Reddit also is there in some cases. So this official video, pat about test. Okay, so these things are there back. Okay, so all of these are there. Last historical event for SpaceX from 2008 to 2018. Okay, so these are all there. So everything is done. So all of it is done. So now we will start our deployment to Heroku. So for the deployment, so first let me come back here and let me cancel it first. Okay, cancel it again. Okay, it is taking too time to cancel. Okay, so for a deployment to Heroku, what we need to do, we have to come here to server.js and not server.js, the tab.js. We have to come down here, and we don't need this localhost, only we need this GraphQL. So let me save it. Then after that, in our so in our package.json for the client, so where we will get that control C, let me do a control X also, where we will get that thing. So this is a new way, another way to doing it. We know many different ways. I have also told on this channel many times many different ways. So how do you do this? So what I'm going to have to do, I'm to come to this package.json again. Okay, package.json, and then there is a build. Then after this build, react script build, here inside this semicolon only we have to do and because that build will run like this: mv build move build to the public directory. The build which when we will run an npm run build, it will move the build to the public directory. Okay, and then we'll come back here to the last thing, give a comma here, and proxy proxy we have to give, and then this we have to do, save it, and then we have to come to the server, and here const path equal to require path. Okay, and we have to use some static means everything is okay. We have to add some code. Let me also get that. So we have to add this code. Express a static public and then the send file. So we are using the dir name here, resolving the directory name to public and index.html. So these things we need to do. So today we are seeing the Heroku deployment in a different way. So again, one thing, So we have to do the npm run build in the client folder and not in the, this is the root directory. So let me not do it here, but so it's better to open my console because my client is already open there, and I will do npm run build here. So that will move the build also to the public folder. Okay. And I already do I already have a lot of Heroku apps, as you might see. Okay, so but yeah, it is done. npm run build is done. So after that, let me close it. We have to go back here, and is it big enough? Yeah, it is big enough. And we'll do the Heroku login from a Heroku. We can create a Heroku app from the dashboard also, but I'm showing a different way. Heroku. So make sure you're not in the client folder, in the main folder. Heroku login is there. Okay, press any key. It is asking me to press any key. Log into Heroku. You are logged in. You can close this page. If I close this page, it will show me logged in as Nabindu Biswas. Yeah, and here I can directly do a Heroku create from here, so that it will create me an app. Okay, it created me an app. Okay, I should know the name because I have a lot of apps. Guarded planes, something guarded planes. So let me go back and let me find my guarded planes. It gives some weird name. I'm not even seeing it. Where is the guarded planes? Yeah, this is guarded planes. Yeah, this one only, guarded planes 73. Yeah, this one only. I have to go to the deploy now. I have to go to the deploy, and I have to do this Heroku. Okay, one thing I want to check, is this a Git repository? No, it is not a Git repository. And one more thing I want to check, very important thing, that my Git ignore content and node modules. React contains the node module. React, you don't have to worry because it itself put it. Okay, so we will follow these things which they have told us. So we have to do a git init. This is very important because Git repository was not formed. Okay, git init. Okay, then the remote connection we will make. Okay, the remote connection is make. Then we will save everything. Git add -a. Okay, okay. Okay, it is giving me some error that initial internal one is also a Git repository. So how to fix that error? So I don't know. Now it's moment of truth, and actually generally it gives me error. So dot get, I will remove this dot get, the client directory dot get. Okay, so let me remove it. Okay, why it is taking it as a new file? How to, let me now I will learn GitHub also, how to reverse a git add. Undo a git add. Or git reset to unstate all changes. Okay, I believe in you. Git reset to unstate, just a git reset. Git reset. So this is git status now. Okay, everything is there right now. So because I have to remove the internal git repository from client, I'm doing it for this git add a, and now git status. So see, client it is taking completely. Okay, now it is okay. Now I have to go to my guarded planes or what? Yeah, anyways, guarded plane is saying me to do a git commit. Git commit -m Heroku deployment 101. Now I have to use this command. Now it is installing dependencies. Build successful. Now it is telling guarded planes has been deployed. Can I open it from here? Maybe. Yes, it is done. See, it is done. Home, launch detail, pack, history, details, pack, rockets, rocket detail, back. So this is working fine. So this long project comes to an end, and we've successfully completed our app and successfully deployed it in Heroku. Everything is Heroku. Even the front end we have deployed in Heroku. So it's a different way of doing things. I generally have not done many times like this. So that is done, and so let us end it here. It has become a complete big video, and I hope you like it, and please do subscribe to my channel. I need subscribers to produce content like this, and please do like this video if you like it. Thank you.